What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got some super juicy and scandalous news to dive into. Leaked footage from a 50 Cent documentary has exposed some crazy details about Diddy's sketchy business dealings over the years. Now, we all know Diddy has had his fair share of controversies, but this latest leak really takes things to a whole new level. Before we get into all the juicy details, if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. I promise you won't want to miss what we've uncovered. Alright, let's jump right in. For those who may not be familiar, back in 2018, 50 Cent was working on a documentary about the history of the rap industry and all the behind-the-scenes drama that's gone down over the years. As part of his research, 50 managed to get his hands on some never-before-seen footage and documents that shed light on some of the more questionable business practices of some of the biggest names in the game. Well, it looks like some of that footage has now been leaked online, and boy does it make for some scandalous viewing. The footage appears to show Diddy involved in all sorts of shady activities, from alleged financial fraud to possible ties to organized crime. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, yeah, right, this is just 50 Cent trying to stir up more drama. But after diving into this footage and doing some additional research, I can say with confidence that there's definitely some truth to what's being shown here. Alright, let's start by taking a look at some of the key moments from this leaked footage. The first clip shows Diddy meeting with a group of individuals who appear to be part of some kind of criminal organization. In the footage, Diddy is seen handing over a suitcase full of cash, and the other men are discussing some sort of business deal they have in the works. Now, it's important to note that the footage doesn't explicitly state what the nature of this business deal is, but given the shady location and the fact that there's a ton of cash involved, it's not hard to imagine that it's something illegal. The way Diddy is behaving in the footage, nervously looking around and keeping his voice low, also suggests that he knows he's involved in something sketchy. The next clip shows Diddy meeting with what appears to be a group of financial advisors or accountants. In this footage, Diddy is seen going over some financial documents and discussing various creative accounting methods to hide the origins of certain funds. There's talk of offshore accounts, shell companies, and all sorts of complex financial maneuvers that are clearly designed to obfuscate the true nature of where Diddy's money is coming from. Again, the footage doesn't explicitly state that Diddy is engaged in any illegal financial activities, but the way he and the other individuals in the room are behaving is certainly suspicious. They're speaking in hushed tones, using a lot of coded language, and generally acting like they're trying to cover their tracks. The final clip in this leaked footage shows Diddy meeting with a group of individuals who appear to be part of some kind of private security firm. In this clip, Diddy is seen discussing the need to take care of a certain individual who he refers to as a problem. The other men in the room nod in agreement, and there's a clear implication that they're going to use violence or intimidation to deal with this problem. Now, it's important to note that the footage doesn't show any actual acts of violence or criminal activity taking place. But the language used by Diddy and the other individuals, as well as the overall tone and setting of the meeting, strongly suggests that they're discussing some kind of illegal or unethical activity. Alright, so those are the key moments from this leaked footage. Now, let's take a step back and try to put all of this in context. First and foremost, it's important to remember that this footage is from a documentary that was being produced by 50 Cent. And as we all know, 50 Cent and Diddy have had a pretty contentious relationship over the years, with a lot of bad blood and mutual dislike between the two of them. So it's certainly possible that 50 Cent could be selectively editing or presenting this footage in a way that paints Diddy in an unflattering light. After all, he does have a vested interest in making Diddy look bad. That said, the footage itself does seem to be authentic, and the behavior and language used by the individuals in the clips is certainly consistent with the kind of shady activities that have been rumored about Diddy over the years. Additionally, it's worth noting that Diddy has had his fair share of legal and ethical controversies over the course of his career. From the infamous 1997 shooting incident at a New York City nightclub to the various lawsuits and investigations he's faced regarding his business practices, Diddy has a long history of being involved in questionable and sometimes illegal activities. So while we should certainly take this leaked footage with a grain of salt, given the source in Diddy's past history, I think it's fair to say that there's probably at least a kernel of truth to what's being shown here. Diddy has clearly been involved in some shady stuff over the years, and this footage seems to provide a rare behind-the-scenes look at the kind of underhanded tactics he's allegedly used to maintain his power and wealth in the music industry. Now, let's dive a little deeper into some of the specific allegations and claims that are being made in this leaked footage. First and foremost, there's the issue of Diddy's alleged ties to organized crime. The footage shows him meeting with a group of individuals who appear to be part of some kind of criminal organization, and the way they're discussing business deals and handing over large sums of cash suggests that they're involved in illegal activities. Now, it's important to note that the footage doesn't explicitly state what the nature of this business deal is, and we can't jump to conclusions about what exactly Diddy is involved in. However, the overall tone and setting of the meeting, as well as Diddy's nervous body language, strongly implies that he's involved in something shady and potentially illegal. Another major allegation that's been raised in this footage is Diddy's alleged financial fraud and money laundering activities. The clips showing him meeting with financial advisors and discussing creative accounting methods to hide the origins of his funds are particularly concerning. Again, the footage doesn't outright state that Diddy is engaged in illegal financial activities, but the way he and the other individuals are behaving and the types of tactics they're discussing are certainly suggestive of some kind of financial impropriety. Finally, there's the issue of Diddy's alleged use of violence and intimidation to deal with problems. The footage showing him meeting with a group of private security individuals and discussing the need to take care of someone who's causing him trouble is particularly chilling. While the footage doesn't show any actual acts of violence, the language used and the overall tone of the meeting implies that Diddy has no qualms about using force or intimidation to deal with those who cross him. Now, it's important to note that none of these allegations have been proven in a court of law, and Diddy has not been charged with any crimes related to these claims. However, given his past history of legal and ethical issues, as well as the nature of the footage that's been leaked, it's hard to dismiss these allegations entirely. So, what are the potential consequences of all of this? Well, if these allegations turn out to be true, Diddy could be facing some serious legal trouble. Ties to organized crime, financial fraud, and the use of violence and intimidation are all extremely serious offenses that could land him in prison for a very long time. Additionally, these revelations could have a major impact on Diddy's business and public image. If it's proven that he's been engaged in these kinds of shady activities, it could seriously damage his reputation and credibility in the music industry and beyond. Brands and business partners may be hesitant to work with him, and he could even face potential legal action from those who feel they've been wronged by his alleged misdeeds. Of course, Diddy has already come out and denied the validity of this leaked footage, calling it a complete fabrication and a blatant attempt to smear my name. He's claimed that the footage has been selectively edited and taken out of context, and that he's the victim of the accusations.